The AI progress over the past few years has been so fast that the wall we thought we were hitting is just the progress itself. And the insane improvement for AI in 2024 is thanks to this new technique called test time compute, which is just letting the AI yap to itself for a good amount of time so it can ponder and hopefully give you a correct answer. But this seemingly trivial yapping process has been scaled to the next level by OpenAI, and this was first teased a few months back with their O1 preview. You can check out my old video about it, and during their Christmas event a few weeks back called 12 Days of OpenAI, they announced the full version of the O1 model with a new $200 tier to let you have unrestricted use of O1. But even before the absurdly expensive subscription had even settled in people's minds, OpenAI dropped a preview of O3, which is the next iteration of O1, on the last day of the event. Rumor has it that they skipped naming it O2 because a British telecom called O2 might pose trademark issues for them, or they're just bad at naming as usual. But anyways, this new model shook everyone in two major ways: its insane benchmark performance and its astronomical inference cost. But before we dive into it, let me share with you this completely free resource made by HubSpot called Unlock Your Marketing Superpowers, which can supercharge your marketing strategy by effectively utilizing AI. It is packed with 1,000 plus AI marketing and productivity prompts crafted by marketing experts over at HubSpot and are designed to help marketers, entrepreneurs, and operators to generate fresh ideas, refine business strategies, and save tons of time, all while staying laser focused on your unique goals. With this one resource, you can simplify your most complex projects and tasks by using this to set up the game plan for yourself, tackle every marketing challenge from SEO to social media, brand building to lead generation, and lets you easily customize prompts for content creation, strategic planning, and productivity, tailoring them to your specific business needs. This personal playbook helps you polish your brand strategy, brainstorm new campaigns, and streamline your workflows, giving you a head start. And the best part, you can access it completely for free, giving you more time to lock in on what really matters instead. So if you're ready to elevate your marketing game and take advantage of this resource, be sure to check out using the link down in the description. And thank you HubSpot for sponsoring this video. On the current hardest math benchmark ever made, called Frontier Math by EpochAI, the benchmark was created by over 60 domain-specific mathematicians, with all the questions for the benchmark being original and unpublished. While no other models were able to exceed 2% accuracy, the O3 model was able to get 25% accuracy with full throttle on. To give you an idea of how challenging their private benchmark is, here are some of the sample questions, with each problem being estimated to require hours of work from expert mathematicians. So honestly, this is one of the craziest AI accomplishments. They had access to the data I ever seen. On another benchmark called ARC-AGI, which is supposedly to be the benchmark and the indicator for AGI, the high compute O3 model achieved a staggering 88% accuracy, while the high compute O1 model reached only 32%. And here on the diagram, the low or high basically refers to how much compute the AI is allocated to process and think about a question. So the more time it spends pondering, the more expensive the computation becomes. On the other hand, the tuned here stands for O3 being trained on ARC-AGI's training set, and I'll get back to this later. So for a complete attempt at solving every question in ARC-AGI with O3 in its high compute mode, according to this diagram, it kind of suggests that it would cost $3,000 to $4,000 per question, and I speculate for the Frontier Math benchmark, they also spend around the same for what I referred as full throttle earlier. So with that price tag per question, they spent around $2 million running through the 500 questions from the ARC-AGI benchmark. I repeat, on a singular benchmark, literally 88% accuracy at what cost? To put this absurdity in contrast, DeepSeek spent around $5 million training the whole 671 billion parameter model with trillions of training tokens, which is now also the best open source model, and OpenAI spent half of that budget to run a single benchmark. What the actual It gets even more absurd if you look at O3 low compute mode. It looks like it only costs around 30 to 40 bucks per question to get around 76% accuracy. So to squeeze out that extra 12% accuracy, they spend at least 100 times the budget. Shout out to OpenAI's sacrifice for finding out the scaling law for all of us, but this had me thinking, are those additional costs being used efficiently? Since they haven't shared exactly how they utilize their test time compute methods or whether they use anything particularly special, we can cannot definitively judge if this is truly optimal or not. But one thing is for sure, remember that leak about OpenAI introducing a $200 tier a while back, and turns out that's real? Well, they are definitely going in the direction of selling giga expensive subscriptions until AGI is achieved, with the rumored $2,000 tier likely becoming a reality given O3's current cost per task. But Cloud, isn't O3 achieving 88% on ARC-AGI, the benchmark that was made to indicate when AGI is achieved, or at least measure up to human intelligence, a super huge news? Well, yes, but no. AGI is definitely still not achieved. AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, refers to an AI capable of performing any intellectual task that a human can do, generalizing across all knowledge domains. With how AI right now can solve PhD level math questions while failing to answer the most basic questions that even your grandma knows the answer to, it is definitely a bit awkward to claim that it's close to AGI. Like, take this question from ARC-AGI, which O3 failed. It is a fairly simple pattern for us to understand, but O3 spent $5,000 worth of compute and still failed. And the same goes for the other two sampled failed questions from O3. On top of that, one of the current hot debates is that ARC-AGI has a public training set, which allows AI labs to simply yoink it and train their models on it. But by having access to the answers, combined with data labelers who can explain to the AI how to solve the question step by step during its training, O3 then gains a huge potential advantage, which could explain its huge jump in accuracy. Some may argue that this training process is fair, as this is how us humans learn too, but some may argue that this is unfair because AGI should demonstrate the ability to generalize to any chosen benchmark. And of course, most of us can solve this question without even looking at other training data. On top of that, training on a dataset designed to measure generalization would then completely undermine its purpose, because it now tests how well the model memorized and learned the patterns of the data rather than solving truly novel problems. So doesn't it feel like cheating to say O3 is AGI when you are using the ARC-AGI benchmark as the indicator while it's literally trained on ARC-AGI? I don't know how people say this with a straight face. Like, if you go on YouTube and search for O3, 9 out of 10 videos is gonna say AGI is achieved. These people have way more copium than me. And even now with the shocking results O3 has achieved on ARC-AGI, they themselves now deny it is not a good measure of AGI in one of their latest blogs, which is a bit ironic given how confident they were back when they were promoting it. Anyways, other than these two benchmarks, the increase in performance of O3 is still really impressive, but you still gotta take it with a grain of salt, of course. Its Codeforce competitive coding ELO has increased from around 1900 to now 2727, and on the software engineering benchmark, it improved 22.8%. On Competition Math AMI 2024, it is closing into full accuracy, sitting at 96.7% compared to 83.3% previously. But they do publish their competition answers every year, so yeah. Let's just say the model could have trained on it accidentally. But given how good it has performed on EpochAI's Frontier Math, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. So future by Cloud here, the date now is 18th of January. EpochAI's co-founder Tamei, the company behind Frontier Math, has written a very interesting piece of news saying that they were unable to be transparent about their affiliation with OpenAI until around the time O3 will be launched. So unlike how it was advertised as being an unpublished benchmark on EpochAI's official website, Tamei said OpenAI has access to a large part of the questions and even their answers. Keep in mind that the whole Frontier Math benchmark is supposed to be completely unpublished, even the questions, which definitely go against what they advertised as. What's even worse is that their benchmark contributors didn't even know OpenAI had access to their questions either, so they were technically fooled into doing data labeling. I mean, he did also make a statement about the training usage, saying that there's a verbal agreement the benchmark will not be used in model training, and that there's an unseen holdout set as a safeguard to prevent overfitting. But even if they did not train on the answer, doesn't having an answer makes figuring out what kind of reasoning process is missing easier, which kind of defeats the purpose of genuinely making an AGI, because AI is not going to surpass human intelligence if it's just overfitting on our reasoning methods and not figuring out a more generalizable method. And at the end of the day, EpochAI getting the bag is completely fine, but integrity-wise, it's completely opposite to what they advertised for, and their mathematicians might feel cheated too. I was genuinely worried for them accidentally leaking benchmark questions when evaluating O3, but guess I was worried about nothing. So seeing OpenAI parading the improvements now on this benchmark like crazy definitely feels a bit cheated.
This is a data set that consists of novel, unpublished and also very hard to
These are
test.
extremely hard.
But hey, even though O3 Mini is gonna be worse than O1 Pro, it'll still be available under the $200 subscription. And at the end of the day, we do not have access to really see if O3 is actually that good or not. On top of that, even though O3 is indeed really insane, benchmark-wise, we still definitely need to pivot towards the idea where AGI is something that is capable of solving entirely novel problems without domain-specific training, as this was how it was supposed to be in the first place for a general intelligence. So yeah, our jobs are at risk even without AGI being here. How great. At the same time, what we need right now is better private and high-quality benchmarks like what EpochAI did with Frontier Math, or even like the YouTube channel AI Explained is doing with his simple bench to evaluate human performance versus AI on simple reasoning tasks, which would give us a better idea of what AI is truly capable of without corporate interventions. And oh god, look at that. O1 preview performed better than the O1 full that was released later during the 12 days of OpenAI on simple bench. Yikes. Maybe we should make our own community benchmark too. But what's also really noteworthy about ARC-AGI's benchmark is that their questions are visual data stored in plain text. So while the simple questions that look extremely dazzling for humans to reason and solve in 2D are actually just flattened for the LLMs to solve. So how O3 actually solved 88% of this is indeed really impressive, and it even seems to be a bit unfair, but I wouldn't know because I'm not an AI.
Or is it?
Maybe AI having vision might change something intuitively to the AI's understanding, but vision language models still have a long way to go, and we wouldn't know for sure right now it'll make that much of a difference. Anyways, my personal opinion is that when O3 is released, it'll definitely be really impressive. It's just that the price might be hard to make it useful for us everyday people. And while so far I've been pretty impressed by O1 myself, I still practically use the new Claude 3.5 more on harder tasks like coding. So definitely let me know what you think. And if you like today's analysis and would like to learn more about test time compute, definitely check out my other videos. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest cutting edge research papers, check out my newsletter where I cover the latest and the juiciest research papers from every week. There are tons of issues I've written already, especially on test time compute. On top of that, this is probably going to be the hottest topic this year, so you should definitely stay tuned over there, because as you can see from this video, how late I am with my videos. But anyways, thank you for watching. Big shout out to Andrew Lescelius, Chris LeDoux, Deagan, Miguilim, Robert Zawiasa, Louis Muck, Ben Shaener, Marcelo Ferreira, and many others that support me through Patreon or YouTube. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't, and I'll see y'all in the next one.